Well, welcome to the journey. My name is Kevin Polky, and I am the host of the journey. And as many of you are aware, that typically with the journey that we have guests that will come on, and they will share different aspects or different stories of their life that that they have maybe navigated through there, where there may have been some level of a setback or some obstacle that was in their life, that they not only tell the story about that setback or that obstacle or that challenge, but then they also talk about what they learned. Recently, we had Brigham Wyrock on, and he shared about different things that he learned over the past year running his businesses. That not only was there opportunities that came from that in the first year, as the United States started opening up for different events post pandemic, but how he recognized that he needed to do certain things to take care of himself. And so today we want to continue that discussion. And I want to discuss about the idea of self-care. Um, I know that it's an overused term or phrase right now, and it's a lot of times it is seen as something that you, by taking a vacation or taking uh, a mental health day off of work or school or your normal routine. And though I do think a vacation or a break in your routine or just taking the day off to allow yourself to break that pattern, I do think there is without a doubt benefits of that. But I don't know if self-care um, is always about not doing something. For me, self-care is a discipline. It's about what am I doing to care for myself so that I can be the best version of myself. And my why that I want to be the best version of myself is so that I can experience, uh, be present and experience my relationship with Diane, with our kids, with our friends, with family members, being able to uh, experience God in all those relationships, as well as experiencing just the things that are around me, the people that I interact with with nature in itself. To be able to capture the moment. Last night, as I was wrapped up shoveling and snow blowing because of the snow that we had, uh, I had an opportunity to go out into the hot tub in our backyard and intentionally spending 30 minutes in the still of the winter night with a half moon shining through the haze of clouds. It was absolutely beautiful this winter evening uh, with the light reflecting off the snow, that the majority of the backyard had the blanket of snow was unimpacted by any animals that had footprints walking on it. There was a sense of beauty that by being open and being present, I was able to experience that beauty last night. I think other things that have worked for me is how do I start my day? For me, starting my day typically, depending on the day of the week, will typically start off with some form of movement or exercise, which then will lead to also stretching and some quiet time while I meditate. That this is essential for me to start my day that way so that I can then be able to make sure that I intentionally go into the day uh, in the right frame of mind. it also may lead to that the other times of the day I may not be able to fit things in because of the demands of the different projects that I'm working on may pull at me later in the day. So it's very much an intentional time period to start my day with that exercising, movement, and quiet time. But similar to last night, if I have the opportunity to have that quiet time later in the day or the evening, I also try to take that as well. That no matter how long I have been lifting weights, it still takes a matter of discipline for me to uh, to get up, to go through the motions of preparing myself to get ready for exercising. It is not the ideal time physically for me to do that, but it is from a standpoint of preparing me for the day. It is essential that I start that way. And I really think that is the essence of caring for yourself. It is determining what things allow you to be at optimum efficiency. Not always necessarily easier. Sometimes it is taking a harder path so that you can then be prepared when hard things inevitably happen through your day. That choosing to do hard things not only prepare you physically, but it will prepare you mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. That when Brigham was talking last week about since the first of the year that he has been practicing cold plunge, uh, practicing that is a way of preparing him physically, but then also mentally to be able to be better equipped when tough things happen, regardless if it has to do with temperature or if it's just other hard things that happen. So again, I think this idea of having a schedule to discipline yourself to doing those tough things is key um, for optimal living. That it may be about choices of what you put into your body or choices of what you choose not to is equally a part of that, as well as what you do with your mind. For me, being able to that when I feel anxious or feel threatened by a situation, and typically it isn't a physical threat, it's more of a mental or emotional threat, that one, I have to do something with that energy, physically do something with that energy. At least that's my go-to. And then I need to do something with my thoughts and feelings about that. And that is where I've been learning that to channel that into writing it out. That somehow by writing it out, it gives me an opportunity to look at it, to be able to analyze it, to be able to challenge it, maybe even an opportunity to reframe it and look at ways of how do I make the story different or the narrative different. Again, the key to all this is that caring for yourself is choosing to do hard things versus convenient or easy things. That it's about preparing you for those times when life gets hard, not if it gets hard. That when life in those moments get hard, by preparing myself by doing hard things, I'm more apt to be able to address them and move through them and learn more things about myself as I go through it. As always, I appreciate you being here. I appreciate you willing to continue challenging yourself to grow and be that optimal person that you possibly can be physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. As always, look forward to being with you again next week. Take care.